Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020. I hope you enjoyed your little lunch there, but I hope you didn't eat too much because we've got a feast of golf coming up for you this afternoon very, very shortly. I'm about to bring Keith Mitchell from the Legends Tour into the show. We're going to have a wonderful chat with him. Then we're joined by National Club golfer. That's going to be a fantastic little discussion that we're going to have with Georgina Simpson there. Then we've got Paul Hemlin from the Golf Show, and then I will be joined again by Aaron Cox a little bit later. So without further ado, I'm going to invite Keith Mitchell from the Legends Tour to give us a few minutes, and I'll bring him in. And here we are back live with the Legends Tour, and I am delighted to be joined by Keith Mitchell. Keith, big question for you. Have you done your Christmas shopping?
Not as of yet. I'm making sure I get onto Amazon, sort of eBay later on this evening.
Good idea. Very good idea. Just in case all the shops close.
Exactly.
Now, look, we're here to talk Legends Tour. A lot has been happening, hasn't it, over sort of the last 12 months, really? And let's get into it, shall we? Let's talk updates. What's been happening over the last sort of 6 months or so?
Yeah, really interesting time for the Legends Tour. I think golf generally at the moment, lots of changes going on at present. I think you look right from the grassroots level, the diversity, the new audiences, the participation numbers over the course of the year. Whilst COVID has definitely resulted in a challenging time for a lot of people and a lot of businesses and organizations, sort of equally, I think it's fair to say across Europe, you've seen participation numbers, reaching an all-time high. Yeah. So I think the engagement, the activity, the interest of new tours is definitely there. And I think this Legends Tour was really a brainchild of a gentleman called Ryan Howsam, who over the last 12, 18 months, so pre-COVID-19, was very much a case of, saw an opportunity there to take what is a great brand in the seniors and then the Staysure Tour, and how do we sort of elevate that playing experience for the professional, a better experience for the golf fan long term. And ultimately, particularly in Europe, when you look at some of those golfing iconic moments from the Ryder Cups, the majors, European Tour, PGA Tour events that those sort of individuals have contributed towards, how do we get the amateur up close to create the greatest golfing experience for the amateur?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I think that was really the sort of the vision and the brainchild. I think, we've definitely used this year to look at the strategic sort of proposition for players and the golf fan, and probably equally as well as sponsors. Because I think, being realistically, the more value we can offer to sponsors to help increase prize funds for the professionals, that will help in turn raise the standard and the experiences that we can offer to amateurs. The whole ecosystem really sort of starts to work together. So I think, we've had a really interesting sort of 6 months working with the legends of the game, getting them all sort of queued up for next year. The team have been working very, very hard with destinations, host golf courses and resorts to make sure we've got the very best schedule ready to go next year, which is looking at the moment to start in May 2021.
It's funny you say that, Keith. I have a little image to show people. It's just a quick snapshot actually from the website. If anybody watching, do head over to the website. You can see the social media channel handles are running across the bottom and the website. Do go check it out. I just took this from the website. Some cracking things coming up next year, isn't there? Look, the Jersey Legends Senior Italian Open, the Staysure PGA Senior Championship. That's just a minor snippet of what's coming up, isn't it?
Totally. I think at the moment we have about 24 sort of events, tournaments in the pipeline, 13 of which have been already confirmed. In the next few weeks, early next year, we will announce the remaining tournaments. I think the key with those 6 tournaments, Italy, Jersey, Scotland, Ireland, Formby, etc. There are 5 or 6 core tournaments that will feature a unique range of playing experiences. And that would be a typical running order of those weeks. Would start with a Pro-Am on the Wednesday. We are then looking to introduce a brand new Celebrity Pro-Am on the Thursday as a one-day tournament. And then I suppose the real jewel in the crown is the Friday to Sunday, the Alliance Pro-Am format. So that's taking the AT&Ts of the Dunhill, one amateur with 2 pros playing in front of live crowds, TV, in a competitive situation over the weekend at 5 amazing golf destinations.
Wow. So a lot planned for 2021. It sounds very, very exciting. Let's look a bit further into the future, shall we? What is the vision for the next 5 to 10 years of the Legends Tour?
The vision, I think you come back to the point around the sort of the diversity of the sports. I think ultimately the Legends has been built and on the game that created those amazing memorable moments. When you look across, percent of participation is across the female sort of audience. You look outside of the UK, Germany, the Nordics. There's very strong markets there that have either legends of the game and actively playing golf customers. So I think the vision is, over the next few years, how do we really ensure that we're engaging with the right kind of customer across all of those territories, and probably working in a strong way with local ambassadors to engage those golf fans. And I think ultimately the goal is to open European space for the plus 50 sort of senior market. And when we talk about the crossover slightly, yes, golf is 100% at the heart of the tournament and the proposition. But equally, what you find with some of these destinations and the kind of golf fan that we attract and engage with, it does slightly sort of cross over into the lifestyle travel space. When you're going to Seychelles, Mauritius, some of these destinations, yes, you're there for the golf, but you're equally there with friends, families, colleagues, often non-playing fans who are there really for the experience, and be that fine dining, cuisine, culture, off the course activities. So I think part of that vision really is, when we go to these host destinations, the number one priority is around the golf and the legends, but how do we start to sort of showcase and provide a real experience for golf fans during their duration of the trip?
Absolutely. And I do remember we spoke last week, didn't we? And we were talking about Mauritius, and I distinctly remember you saying I could come along and make the tea for everybody at the Legends Tour. I've got no problem with that whatsoever, by the way.
I'm still trying to get my spots, so they are red hot tickets.
Can bet that. Let's talk order of merit. They've been established, haven't they, for professionals and amateurs?
Yeah, again, so this is one of the new sort of areas. I think we're all very familiar with the traditional sort of professional sort of order of merit, and I think part of this vision longer term and starting next year is to introduce two new formats, which would be the amateur order of merit and the celebrity order of merit. And ultimately the winners of those will have the opportunity to play in a winter sun location next December, the types of your Mauritius, your Seychelles, for the ultimate week of golf. And fundamentally what we're looking to do there is, for the celebrities that will be playing a minimum of 3, 4, 5 events, there will be a leaderboard. Right. And the winners of that will get to join us in the Indian Ocean. And likewise for the amateur, what we're trying to do with the Alliance experience is we have created a simple membership where people can, 20 very limited spots where people can become a member of the Legends Tour series. And by playing at least 3 events, they naturally qualify to play in the amateur order of merit. So again, that gives them not just the competitive golf at one event, but over a series of the season. Fantastic. And what a place to finish! What a place to finish! Indian Ocean in December.
Oh, it just gets better, doesn't it? It gets better and better. It really does. Let's talk about payback for the players. What's there a prize fund on offer?
So obviously between Mark Aspland, who heads up the Legends Tour, and sort of Ryan Howsam, the CEO, that was definitely one of the missions about making the prize funds, where relevant, increasing for the physical sponsorships, but equally it's as much about making that week away or that tournament away as enjoyable, be it from the very best golf courses at the very best destinations, and be it for the players or for the friends and family of the players. How do we make that experience and that whole process as smooth and sort of elevating the standard of that going forward? And naturally prize funds will be a part of that.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good incentive, isn't it? And it's professional golf, really, at the end of the day, isn't it? Right, Keith, we've learned an awful lot so far about this. Let's talk about attracting the broader golf fan. What are we going to be offering them over the next sort of 5 to 10 years or so?
Really good question, and I think that's probably one of our major focuses. We've talked a lot in the early stages about the 20 memberships for the Pro-Am and the Alliance experiences, but ultimately, as part of sort of developing the brand throughout Europe, ultimately we need to be talking to the broader golf fan and adding value to their experiences. I think one of the unique element, particularly for the sort of more mature sort of golfer, for a lot of those legends, those moments they created resonate and they remember, vividly. For a lot of people, it's why they got into the game. It's why they play. So I think you're going to start to see a lot of content that we create from the, Paul Lawrie, Paul McGinley, sort of Ian Woosnam, Colin Montgomery, etc., that will resonate with golf fans, but equally it's relevant for today. So we've talked about, for example, some of those legends owning particular pillars of content. So, for example, travel, lifestyle, fitness content. So create bespoke content that we will create that will resonate to that broad golf fan. I think the other area as well is about, competitions, chances to win, chances to play in Pro-Ams. We're looking at launching some very interesting initiatives early next year, which will give more golf fans the chance to play in Pro-Ams and celebrity Pro-Am. But equally, it's about looking at the partnerships we have in place and how do we also provide better value to our golf van on behalf of those sponsors, be that in discounts, promotions, right the way through to more bespoke experiences that the broad golf fan can benefit from.
So it's certainly going to be pretty exciting, isn't it, for the broader golf fan? Let's talk about sort of the players involved. We know you get a number of high-profile European Tour players from yesteryear, and still big names now, don't we? But who can actually play on the Legends Tour, Keith? Who actually qualifies to play?
Yeah, so at the moment it's very simple in the fact that it's plus 50, years of age. I think we've got some individuals there, as you said, that Ryder Cup captains, major winners, the names that we'll all know about. Equally, when you look back, I was very lucky a couple of years ago to play with Philip Price. That unbelievable moment where he beat Phil Mickelson to win his Ryder Cup match. Some of the stories and experiences that he talked about were truly amazing. Equally, there's individuals like David Shacklady that have come onto the tour in recent years. What you do realise when you see these guys up close and personal is they have not lost their competitive edge. Their ball striking, the understanding of the game and what they can teach us is unbelievable. But I think what you do see with these individuals, which is slightly different to say the other tours, is that up close and personal approach. These guys naturally take care of themselves and take the game very, very seriously. However, they are willing, and have the time to enjoy breakfast or, drinks, dinners. They're not necessarily rushing off to the gym for a 3-hour session because they've got an intensive sort of 5 rounds coming up. So I think you do get that balance of good competitive golf, but with the conversation that every amateur golf fan wants.
But I do imagine Jimenez probably takes a bit of time doing his stretches, doesn't he, still?
Well, stretches, and equally, a few could have said over the years that, an evening talking wine, his top 10 red wines always is a good sort of evening debate.
Exactly, and it is sort of that demographic that's certainly attracted to Legends Tour. But one thing I like about what you're doing at the minute, it appeals to a younger generation as well. It's look, I'm by no means a young man, but I am 35, and technically I'm 15 years away from being able to play on Legends Tour. But I find it fascinating. Players like Bernard Langer and Ian Woosnam. I grew up with these players, and it's wonderful to see them again.
Totally. Well, I mean, you see, what was that a couple of weeks ago? Bernard Langer, Rory McIlroy, that last group in the Masters. Bernard Langer, the oldest player to make the cut, completely holding his own right to the end on Sunday afternoon. It's amazing to watch. So to have that opportunity to go and spend some time with those individuals is pretty unique.
Fantastic. Well, look, let's talk membership quickly as well. There's 3 options for membership. Is that right?
Correct. Yeah, correct. So ultimately, we have currently the free membership in effect, which is the range of added value, content, and experiences, which is a simple sort of email sign-up mechanic on legendstour.com. We then have a one-off tournament membership. So for that is those individuals that would like to play in a Pro-Am Alliance. So it's like premium sort of price, limited numbers, 20 memberships in total. And that's playing one of the 5 Alliance events next year over the 3 days. And then we have the season membership, which in effect gives you entry to all 5 plus the event in the Indian Ocean at the end of the year. So when you look at that, that will be a premium price point. Again, only 20 sort of memberships available. But when you actually break that down, access to celebrity pro-ams, dinners in London with some of those legends, obviously the playing experiences, plus you could bring a guest with you for the hospitality at any of those tournaments. When you go to the Indian Ocean, you can bring a guest with you. So that's a pretty special sort of membership, which we appreciate would only appeal to a select few.
Absolutely. Look, Keith, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on the show. I really do appreciate your time. I know you're a super, super busy man. I will just say to everybody, if you want to find out more about the Legends Tour, please do go to www.legendstour.com. Check them out on Twitter at EU Legends Tour, Facebook EU Legends Tour, and Instagram as well. And you've guessed it, at EU Legends Tour. Keith, you better get off and get your Christmas shopping done, haven't you? I don't want to keep you from that. Thank you so much for your time today. I really, really appreciate it. Have a lovely Christmas. Have a lovely new year. We're going to go to a very short break now, but when we come back, I'm delighted to say I'm going to be joined by Georgina Simpson from National Club Golfer. We'll see you very, very shortly. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. goes. I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it as a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that review of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say? Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. You know, you can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a... Did it on me then?
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you finished. Sorry.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020. And a huge thank you to Keith Mitchell there from the Legends Tour. What a wonderful insight that was. But I have a very, very special guest joining me now, and a very Christmassy guest, I have to say, as well. Georgina Simpson from National Club Golf. Georgina, how are you?
Hi, Ian. Yeah, very well, thank you. And yourself?
I'm not too bad, not too bad. And I've got a very important question for you. Based on the tree behind you, I'm assuming you've done all your Christmas shopping, have you?
Well, a lot of Christmas shopping, yeah, online this year. I've not stepped out of the house for about 3 weeks, I don't think. So that's all good with the COVID restrictions, etc.
You're certainly not the only one, I can assure you that. Now, it's a pleasure to have you on the show because we're going to talk about something quite special today, aren't we? We're going to talk about the National Club Golfers Top 100 Tour. Now, this is pretty exciting stuff, isn't it? For those who aren't au fait with it, everybody knows National Club Golf, you know, a very successful media house. But the Top 100s Tour, tell us a little bit more about that.
So we've been running about 4 years now. We've had lots of venues. We started with 6, then we went to 12, then we went to 23 in the end this year. So next year will be our 4th year of it running. It's just grown and been so successful. In fact, we've just gone live with the 4th year for 2021, all the dates. And it's just so popular now, which is fantastic. It means that we're doing something right and we're delivering for not only the competitive golfer, but also for the venues. So we're delighted at the moment.
It's a series of competitions and events, isn't it, for club golfers sort of in the UK. How did it come about 4 years ago?
Yeah, we devised it on the back of our NCG Top 100s rankings of golf courses. So I think we went with England first 3-4 years ago, and then we did Scotland, then Wales, and then we eventually announced our GB&I Top 100s list in November of last year at an awards ceremony. So there's quite a few different facets involved to it now. But yeah, on the back of our rankings list, really, we wanted our readers to be able to experience these amazing golf courses in the UK, hopefully in Ireland eventually, but at the moment it's just in Great Britain. So yeah, we started in England, we ventured out to Scotland in the 2nd year, we ventured out to Wales in the 3rd year now. So we'll have events all across England, Scotland and Wales next year.
Wow, fantastic. I'm going to bring a quick picture up. If anybody is watching this right now, you can see the website running across the bottom. Do go visit it. It's www.ncgtop100s with an S tour.com. I took this screenshot, Georgina, from your website because, by the way, this just looks sensational. This is the homepage. If you come to this page, you know you've come to the right place. Look at that. What course is that, by the way? I hope I haven't put you on the spot here. You know.
No, that's Prince's. We've decided to go with that shot this year. It just looks fabulous. So yeah, that's Prince's Golf Course down in the southeast of England.
Fantastic stuff. Now, with regards to the events that you do, there's prizes on offer, isn't there? I know you've got a headline sponsor, haven't you?
We have. We're delighted to have. We've had TaylorMade and Golf Breaks for the last 4 years. And 3 years, and they'll be with us again for a 4th year next year. So TaylorMade provide all the prizes at every event. So we've got about 30 now. I think we might have up to 40 in 2021. TaylorMade will provide all the prizes 1st to 3rd at every venue that is on our schedule of events for 2021, plus 2 spot prizes, so 2 nearest pin prizes. So that's just a massive support of the tour, which we are absolutely delighted with. And then Golf Breaks, we actually run a grand final, which next year will be held at Southport and Ainsdale Golf Club. Delighted to return there again, and the top 30 from our order of merit that we run throughout the year will qualify for that, along with the winner of every event venue. So we should have around 60 to 70 players at the end of the year, all qualifying for grand final, and then they will play for the prize, which is a trip for 2 to the Players' Championship in 2022, provided by Golf Breaks, and it's at TP Sawgrass in Florida.
Oh my word! So a trip to Sawgrass. Well, that is some prize. I can tell you that. That is absolutely some prize.
Yeah.
I might have to get myself into. Go on. Sorry.
Yeah. Sorry, I was just going to say. So far, we've sent, I think, 1 to the Masters and 2 people. 2 people to the Masters, 1 person to the Players' Championship, which is obviously delayed from this year due to the COVID restrictions on spectators, etc. But yeah, they've just been amazing prizes from golf breaks and from TaylorMade. So obviously it's very popular with our golfers.
One thing I've been doing, Georgina, just with Keith there from the Legends Tour, I've been trying to get myself a couple of free trips. I was trying to get myself over to Mauritius with them to be the T-boy, making the brews. I was wondering if National Club Golfer needs somebody to go over to Sawgrass just to make sure that the kettles are boiled, and because I'll do it. I'll do it.
I think it's second in line for that, unfortunately. But Mauritius sounds lovely too. That's an amazing place. Yeah. I think we've got to play some good golf, and then you could get there.
I've got no chance. I've got absolutely no chance. Although I did speak to Alex. We must get together and play golf in 2021. I'm definitely up for that, but I'm afraid he might show me up a little bit. Georgina, I want to talk about the year we've just had. You've done a wonderful job. Did you say you had 23 events you did with the Top 100s Tour? Yeah. What's it been like? We know COVID. We don't want to dwell on COVID too much, but you can't ignore it's happened. We can't ignore it's there. It's been a difficult year, probably the hardest year for the golf industry. What's it been like for you as a tour organizer, getting the job done essentially? And you've done it 23 times, by the way, so congratulations. Yeah.
We've had a lot of luck, I think. We've managed to go to different areas, and it's all worked out. I don't know how, to be honest. It's a bit of a miracle that we've managed to put on all 23 and the final. But yeah, I think the first 5 in the year, when COVID hit in March, we put the first 5 in our schedule back into the calendar. So we managed to reschedule them. We've had a lot of help from the venues themselves with COVID restrictions, and being able to communicate that to me, and then I can communicate that to the players. So it's been a big group effort, really. And obviously the venues have set all the rules and the guidelines from the government just to be open. We've been quite adaptable with whatever they could go with. We're happy to go with. And then the players themselves have been brilliant because they've just followed every guideline that we've given them. And we've been really blown away by, we were able to stay COVID safe in all of them, which was absolutely amazing, really. And I think it was mainly because everybody was so excited to be playing golf when we'd had it taken away from us earlier in the year. I think, and then putting things into perspective, it was just nice to get out and play some golf, have some fresh air, and everybody wanted to stay safe, obviously. So we managed it, but it was a big group effort, I think.
Fantastic stuff. Yeah, I've been involved in a few tours myself this year from broadcasting side, and people don't realise the amount of work that actually goes into it behind the scenes today. It's not just a case of, okay, give a golf course a phone call, can we have this date, and then just make it happen. It's quite difficult. How many people took part in 2020?
We had over 1,500 entries.
Wow.
So we were delighted with that. And it's just grown from year to year. So we have a lot of returning guests that then go back to their own golf clubs and tell their mates about it, and then come back the next year. So that's how word's spreading, really. And it's nice to see the same faces and every year, and great that we've got that feedback, and that they want to come again, which is great.
Absolutely, definitely. I've got an interesting question here. With National Club Golf's top 100 courses, what's the criteria? Who decides this is a top 100 course? I assume it's a collective effort. Do you have certain criteria that a golf course has to meet?
This is not my speciality subject. This is
Alex,
by this is it's all devised by our longtime editor and chief executive, I guess, of the company, Dan Murphy. Yeah. And he, and along with, I think, a panel of 12, just played more or less every golf course that they could, and then got together and ranked them. And there's a whole mythology on in the top 100s magazines, and you can find that on the the website page for the NCG Top 100s, or I think we've got a Facebook page and a Twitter page and all that. But it's all there for you to read, and it's fascinating, really, what they've been able to achieve. I think if I had to sit down and devise all them golf courses into a list of 100, I think it's very brave, and but I think Dan is really proud of it, and he'll speak to anybody that has a different view, but that's what it's all about, isn't it? So
exactly. It's exactly that. You will always say, I was looking actually in the comment section on National Club Golf at these things, and they always make for great reading, don't they? Because it is to an element based on opinion, but you do have to draw the line somewhere, don't you? You do have to meet certain criteria. Somebody will say, well, this course is brilliant because of this reason. And do you know what? I've been to 30 golf courses this year. I've never been to a bad one in the UK ever in my life. Yeah. And so to whittle it down to 100 is quite incredible, isn't it, really? But tough job that, isn't it, hey, for the guys?
Yeah, absolutely. I'm glad I wasn't part of the panel.
I wish I was, actually. Get to play 100 golf courses.
Yeah, well, there is that side of it, yeah.
Right, let's look ahead to 2021. We've touched on it a little bit already, haven't we? What an incredible job you've done this year in the hardest of conditions. 2021, you've got 40-odd events, did you say? Now, I've got a couple of pictures just to show. Again, I just took these snapshots. I've got 9 courses here. These are some of the places we're going to be visiting in 2021, isn't it? If we look here, we've got Prestwick, Dundonald Links, Western Gales there. How hard is it to get all of these nailed down? Because there's a lot, isn't there? 10th, 11th and 12th of May. Do you go to each one, Georgina?
Yes, that's the plan. I did this year, bar one, which my boss kindly stood in for. But yes, that is the plan. Although 40 seems maybe we might need some help, I think, this year. So the plan is to have a bit more of a social media presence, so we'll be able to give back to the club more. So I think I won't be on my own this year. I think there'll be some help, and we're really pleased to kick off with Prestwick this year. So they're with us for the first time. Western Gales and Dundonald Links have been with us for 2 years now, but Prestwick is joining them for the first time this year. And obviously, with the the history with Prestwick, it's a great venue to kick off with.
Fantastic. I'm just going to bring that last image up as well. You've got Trump International in there too. Was that quite difficult to get on the books, or were they very open for it?
They've been fantastic. We have a long relationship, with a lot of these clubs, obviously through National Club Golfer, and I think they, in a time, especially with COVID, that they're all losing a bit of overseas income. So it's nice to be able to target some UK golfers, and that's it seems to work for them. So it's a delight to work with all these venues. They're just fabulous to work with and very supportive, and obviously the great venues. So it's great. My job's fantastic.
When does the prep work for you start then? Because obviously you had 2020 to wrap up. You've done a great job. It's December, and it looks like 2021's already pretty much nailed down for you. When do you start switching focus from 2020? Starting to think, right, I need to get cracking with 2021 now, the next year?
It was just after my holidays. So we had the grand final in October every year. Then I take a well-earned break and enjoy some time at home, and then I come back and set out a plan for 2021 and start speaking to venues again. Obviously, a few of the venues, come back year after year, which is great. Actually, I think we're only missing 2 from last year for 2021. So, which again, we're really proud of. That's probably our best advert for the tour, is that venues, once we've been there, they want to have us back, so they can see the value in the tour and all the promotion that they receive. So, it's tough, actually. Sort of October, November time, it's been a mad time, really. And I'm still sort of, speaking to the last few venues that are are coming on board. I think we've 6 or 7 to put on at the end of the week, which will take us into sort of the mid-30s. So we hope to, possibly get to 40 by January time. So.
Wow, that is
Watch
incredible. Yeah, watch them. You're going to be one busy lady next year, I can tell you that. Well, it sounds like you are, to be fair. Georgina, very, very quick. If somebody wants to get involved with this, where do they go? You can join as a member, can't you, actually, on the NCG's Top 100s Tour website. Is that right?
That's right. Yeah. For the first time this year, we've devised a membership program, mainly because we saw that there were a lot of competitors joining a few different venues and bringing the friends to a few different venues. So if they were playing, I think the winner of the Order of Merit this year played 11 events,
right,
which is amazing. And the support of the tour from that gentleman was brilliant. But there's also a lot of others that enjoy the tour and come with the friends to play different swings of events around the country. So we wanted to sort of thank them, for the support, and we've devised a membership program where I think if they play 3 or more events, they start to get the money back because they get a 20% discount off the entry for each event. So along with a lot of other membership prizes and packages and things, but the main focus is a 20% discount off the entry fee.
Fantastic. So if you are interested in 2021, do go visit www.ncgtop100stour.com. Georgina, I'm going to put you a little bit on the spot here. Not too up, not too much, don't worry.
Okay.
You go to all the courses, it looks like to me, and I'm sure you love going to every single one, and they all look after you incredibly well, and they're all wonderful in their own way. Do you have a particular favourite place to visit, though? Is there somewhere that you go back to every year and you're like, do you know what? I just feel at home here.
There's about 3 or 4. Have we got time to talk you through? Yeah,
we'd love to hear it.
Yeah. For me, it was the first time visiting Trump last year. This year. I'm into 2021 already. So this year was the first time I'd visited Trump, and you really must go to Trump International on the Aberdeen coast, because it's just like being on another planet. There's so many different tees you can play off, for every different level. So don't be worried that you won't be able to get round, such a big golf course, because there's all different tees you can play off. And it was in absolutely immaculate condition. We went in sort of late September. It was just fabulous. Everybody really enjoyed it. The other couple of clubs I should mention, Southport and Ainsdale, we went there and it absolutely threw it down all day. But everybody came off saying, wow, what a golf course, really enjoyed that. And mainly because it was in immaculate condition. And it's a bit of a hidden gem, I think, on the West Coast there. Obviously, they've held the Ryder Cup previously. But it's great golf course, very friendly, lovely food. The whole package there was fantastic, which is why we're going back for the final. And then down on the South Coast, I'd say Prince's. That's the first time I'd been there as well. And again, you just felt looked after from start to finish. All the staff were very friendly, couldn't do enough for you. The clubhouse there was, brilliant, just exactly what you needed. And they had lodges as well, which were fantastic for overnight stays and getaways, for groups or whatever. So that was a real, just real homely feel, and it's right on the coast there. The views are amazing. Excellent. So yeah, 2 or 3.
You are a lot of people watching this will be very envious of what you do. You do an incredible job, by the way. And again, I must give congratulations for this year, because I know how difficult it is. The tours we worked with, everybody's done a fantastic job to keep golf going. It has been the hardest year we've ever had in the industry. But hey, fingers crossed, 2021 is going to bring new excitement, and we're going to get over this and have a great time next year. Georgina, it's been an absolute pleasure. Yeah, fingers crossed, absolutely. It's been nothing but an absolute pleasure having you on from National Club Golfer here today. Do go enjoy your Christmas, won't you? Is that a real tree, by the way? Can I just ask?
It is a real tree. I always struggle with a real tree every year, despite my mum and dad telling me I'm crazy. But yeah, you've got to have a real tree at Christmas, haven't you?
I have a fake one actually. But yeah, you probably do.
No, I really like Christmas, and it's my previous job. I travelled quite a bit, and I'd always come back on sort of the 15th of December, and for like 15 years that happened. So I missed the whole run up to Christmas. So now I'm like Mrs. Christmas now. So that explains all the festivities behind me.
Brilliant. Well, it makes a great backdrop. Again, Georgina, thank you so much for your time today. It's been a real pleasure. Have a lovely Christmas. Have a great new year. Best of luck next year. Not that you'll need it. If you are interested in getting involved with the NCG Top 100 Tour, again, the website's just running across the bottom, ncgtop100tour.com. Right, we're going to go to a short break now, but when we come back, I'm joined by the incredibly talented Paul Hemlin from the golf shows, from one golf show to another. We'll see you very soon.
Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it as a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did direct view of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. Oh. You know, you can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I nearly had a... Did it on me then?
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you'd finished. Sorry.
Right, hello everybody and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020, and what a treat we've had so far today, haven't we? But it's only going to get even better because I've got another very special guest, and it's from one golf show to another. Paul Hemlin, how are you?
Hi Ian, how you doing? Good to be here.
I'm very well. It's a pleasure to have you here. And of course, people might be getting a bit confused here, isn't it? Because this is the virtual golf show 2020, but you have your own golf show as well, don't you?
We do indeed, yes. So for the last 3 months, we've been putting a weekly show onto YouTube on a YouTube channel, which I believe you're showing the details at the bottom of the screen. We're putting weekly content out there. It's kind of a golf magazine where you might get a main feature in the middle of it, a piece before, and a couple of pieces after, maybe some giveaways and a quiz. Really just looking for some sort of easy watching for golfers who want to watch a golf program on an evening that covers 3 or 4 different topics. Hopefully a bit of fun as well, a bit enjoyable, you know, and see where we go with it. We've done tonight, our 12th episode goes out, which is fantastic. We're getting some really good views. Viewing numbers can range from 300 to 7,500. You just don't know what's going to be popular on YouTube. So again, it's all learning curve for us.
Well, I'm going to quiz you on your channel very, very shortly. But before we do, for those people who haven't seen the golf show, I'm just going to play a little video. Do check this out. It's a fantastic watch.
I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it with a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that review of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. Oh. You know, you can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a... Did it on me then?
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Finished. Sorry.
Oh, Paul, that is... that's the type of content we're going to get to see on the golf.
Yeah, I mean, and that's just from our first 8 episodes. I mean, the trick shot was amazing. It was the first weekend of the second lockdown, and we'd planned loads of filming. Obviously, couldn't go out and do it. Lots of friends from the golf club and from around the world, you know, all in similar positions. So I just put some stuff out on social media. Does anyone want to be involved in a trick shot, film the ball coming in one way, going out the other? We had about 40 guys take part, loads of kids and juniors from the golf club as well, some of the lady members. The editor did a fantastic job in putting it all to music, and wait until you see the bloopers on our Christmas show as well. It's going to be unreal. So it was fun. I'm not a golf pro. I'm an 8-9 handicapper at the moment, so I'm not going to be teaching people how to cure their slice, because I'm not the person. In fact, I need people to teach me that. But I do feel I can, after playing golf for 30 years, you know, do a review of 4 different golf clubs that I've worn over the course of 3 months, or some golf shoes, and, you know, tell people what I think about them. I don't think you need to be a professional golfer to be able to come across like that. So I'm keen to do those kind of product reviews. We're not sponsored by anybody. We've got no affiliation. So one day you might see me in one type of jumper, the next day it might be a different one. and, you know, honest reviews of what we think about products. I'm going to do some stuff where, you know, what's a certain golf club work at my level, but it won't be like a professional review. There's a lot of people out there on YouTube doing driver reviews. Should you buy the latest Titleist or TaylorMade kit? That's not really me, and those guys do a really good job of that. If ever I need any instructional videos, I've got Chris Hansen coming on. Chris has been great, really generous with his time. He's played 100 times on the European Tour. He's played in the Open. We've just recorded a series of tips with Chris, where we're going to use those every few weeks. But you're learning from a guy that's actually been there. It's not some hacker like me trying to teach you how to be better at golf. So that's where we're coming from, really.
Yeah, well, Chris was on the show earlier as well with Adam from the 2020 Pro Tour. I know, obviously, we met at the 2020 Pro Tour, isn't it? That's how I think I interviewed you on the tee. I can't remember what club it was now. We did so many of them. But,
yeah. Love the coverage you guys did for that. It was brilliant.
Thank you. And it's going to be a lot more as well in 2021. But look, coming back to you, Paul, I actually think there's a big market for what you're doing as well, because like yourself, I'm not a professional golfer myself. Hey, I'm not even a professional presenter. I try to be, but you know, I'm sure But I think actually it's important, because the large bulk of people, I think the average handicap in the UK is something like 17 or 18 or something like that, isn't it? So it's great to hear from pros. You know, I've done some filming with Rick Shields. He is a font of all knowledge, and he presents it really well. It is nice to hear it from the average guy as well, because for somebody like me, I'm realistically about an 18 handicapper, so I am about an average golfer. I'm not going to be picking up the latest PXG. You know, great brand, fantastic stuff. I'm not good enough. You know, I need to hear from people like yourself telling me honestly, this is good, this isn't good, this is priced at this point, this is priced at that point. You know, do you know what I mean? I think there's a big market to like-minded people.
Absolutely. Yeah. On tonight's show, which goes out on our YouTube channel at 6:30 UK time, I'm reviewing an £18.99 driver from Sports Direct. Now, I've currently got a PXG driver, and you can buy 29 of those for one PXG. So I'm not doing a direct head-to-head comparison, because that'd be pointless. The PXG is going to win. But could a beginner, somebody just wants to go on the driving range with the mates, buy this thing, get changed from 20 quid and have some fun? Or is it just complete rubbish and you're better off going on eBay and getting something second hand? So it's that. That review goes out tonight. Had a lot of fun with that. It's an interesting club to play with. I've not played anything that whippy for 20 years, so there's some interesting results. We've got it on a launch monitor as well, which is really interesting. So that's cool. But I want to do content that's kind of obvious when it's pointed out. You saw in the video there, I've got my chiropractor who's great and keeps me sort of playing golf, and he came on and we did a piece about how golfers should transport their kit around the golf course. And something like 40% of golfers in the UK carry their bags. And when you've got some golf balls in it, a bottle of pop, all your equipment, your waterproofs, it's really heavy, and it weighs between 10 and 12 kilograms. So that's the equivalent of those 6 2-litre bottles of pop that I put on the video. And if I said to you, Ian, carry that around on your back for 3.5 hours, plus if you're taking, say, 90 shots, that means you put it on and off 90 times, you're putting it down when you make. So it's the energy you're using and the muscles you're using and putting it down, picking it back up. You could really be hurting yourself. And if you play a couple of times a week, that's a lot of weight to have on your back. And if you want to perform, you're going to be disadvantaged to some guy who's using a trolley. So, I'd never really thought about, when you put a golf bag on, it feels all right, and you get straps on both shoulders and it doesn't feel mega heavy, and you're only carrying it for a couple hundred yards at a time. But if you think of the cumulative effect of that over the course of a round, you're not doing yourself any favors. And my son Zach, who's often in the videos and often doing a bit of filming for us as well, he's 12 years old. I mean, I started carrying a bag at that age. There's no way he's going to. Just not going to do him any good. So I want to put that kind of content on where it might just get people thinking a little bit. Or we've got a guy in one of the recent episodes who's a qualified personal trainer who specializes in golf exercises, because there are, if you went to the gym and just tried to do some exercise, it could get in the way of a golf swing. But again, I didn't want to assume people had expensive gym equipment or gym membership. So he gets me doing 5 or 6 exercises you can just do on your carpet. Don't you spend any money. and you could do them a couple of times a week. And if you did them for 10 minutes before you went out to play golf as well, you're really going to see some benefits. Golf is a really dynamic movement. If you just got straight out the car, have your coffee and bacon roll warm up, as most people do, you could really hurt yourself. And I've done my back in a few times as well. So again, people don't need to join the gym. They don't need expensive equipment. So just trying to helpful stuff like that hopefully people will find interesting.
Can I ask you a question about that then, Paul? Because in the video we saw you holding a squat, didn't we? And you said 30
nearly holding a squat.
How long did you hold it for?
20 odd seconds, and he said, "Could I do 3 reps?" I'm like, "No." So thankfully we got that in one take. Otherwise, it could have been quite painful for me. I did feel it the next day. Honestly, I'm so out of shape. I've really got to raise my game. We've got Christmas coming up as well, so it's not looking too promising there.
No, well, hey, look, what am I to say? You'll get there, and it's going well. I can tell you that. Fine figure of a man, absolutely, Paul. Look, it's not actually a full-time job, is it, the golf show? It's not your full-time job, but it's a passion of yours, golf, isn't it? Is that why you wanted to start the golf show up?
Yeah, I mean, I've played golf for 30 years. I was honoured to be captain of Fulford Golf Club in York in 2018, which I loved. I was 45, so quite a young captain, especially for a prestigious club like that. The members were brilliant with me. Played a lot of pro-ams, got to know quite a lot of pros as well. So quite a lot of contacts in the game. And I absolutely love golf. I love playing golf with my family. I love playing with my mates. I love watching it on the telly. I'm amazed the amount of golf I get to watch on the telly, how my wife puts up with it, to be honest. And I don't just want to watch golf tournaments, which tend to be on Thursday through Sunday. I need something to get me through Monday through Wednesday. And there isn't any golf programs out there that were interesting to me. There's some various podcasts, and the quality ranges massively. Some presenters, it's all about them, and hopefully with the golf show, if it's about me, it's because I'm making a fool of myself on purpose, trying to make something entertaining. You know, it's not about me. And a lot of podcasts, the quality varies depending who the guest is that week. One week it might be fantastic. The next week, when you get your downloads into your podcast, it's rubbish and you last for 5 minutes. So it was really variable quality. And I just wanted something that I could just watch on an evening for half an hour, put my feet up, and it's just some interesting golf content and a bit of variety. Maybe we'll talk about the best restaurants in St Andrews, not necessarily about the golf there. Maybe we'll talk about, I don't know, which club does the best bacon sandwich, or we might talk about, does this golf ball go further than that golf ball? Yeah. And something just golf related that was easy watching, and there was nothing there. So I thought, right, I'll make it. But then people are busy, so maybe I boiled half an hour down into 15 minutes, which is what we're aiming for each week, and just trying to get something out there that golfers will find entertaining, and if they can learn some stuff, great. We're trying to do a piece most weeks on the rules of golf, which are really complicated. I mean, I write contracts for IT companies, so I'm used to dealing with complicated documents. But even with the rules of golf, after 30 years, I'm saying, what does that word mean? So I explain those. We've got all the visuals on the screen, and I'm trying to do it in really simple language. I'm not going to say subparagraph 17.2 says you've got to do this. I'll just explain it as it is, and hopefully that will help golfers. I mean, the amount of golf competitions I play in where somebody might take a drop because they've stuck themselves in the middle of a bush and they've still got the head cover on the driver, which you're not allowed to do. But unless somebody's pointed that out, how would you ever know? So it's just trying to get some stuff out there that we can, you know, help people. And I think infotainment's the word, isn't it? You know, I want it to be interesting, I want it to be fun, and if people can learn some stuff or enjoy golf a bit more because of it, then that would be amazing. I mean, I'd love to do this as a job. I'm still writing my contracts sort of 4 or 5 days a week and doing this as a hobby. I'm going to see how far we can get it in a year after 50 episodes, and then take a view where we go from there, whether it stays a hobby or whether we turn the gas up on it and make it more into a job. I don't know, but it's lots of fun. It's really interesting. I've never done anything like this before. I've done public speaking and stuff when I was running my own company, but like the piece where in our last episode where I'm taking on the pro, there was just me filming. I had 3 cameras. So one of them is my iPhone where we've got the shot tracer. I've got a camera in front, camera for the B-roll. Having to learn what B-roll is. You know, all this stuff is new. The cameras aren't moving, so that's why we use so many. The editor will cut it in to make it look a bit more interesting. But we shot that in 5 locations around that golf course. So I'm carrying 3 cameras and setting them up, take a breath, pop into presenter mode, and then actually hit some golf shots in that one as well and try and not look too silly when I'm playing against a pro. I won't tell you the result, but it is interesting. So you need to check that one out on our YouTube channel. So there's a lot that goes into it. So I decided early on I wanted it to look professional. I've been doing lots of research on YouTube. I've had the idea for this for maybe a year. And it was only really over summer I thought I need to do this now. And I've been watching lots of other YouTubers, and some of them are superb. You mentioned Rick Shields, his stuff's great. Peter Finch, James Robinson, all really, really good at what they do. But there's a lot of homemade stuff out there as well. And I guess part of that is the beauty of YouTube. You can do it with your phone and put something up there, but some of it isn't great. I didn't want this to look homemade. You know, we've had the logo embroidered on loads of stuff. We've tried to be professional. I've even got my cup of tea here with my golf show cup.
There we go.
And we've got an editor on board, so you know we're paying him, but I want it to look professional. And also, when you're filming outside, wind noise and things like that is challenging. So this guy's brilliant. You know, Michael at North Core Creative's doing a fantastic job and gluing all the various clips and my filming together and making it look as good as it does. So I'm absolutely delighted with the product we've got at the moment.
Fantastic, and it is fantastic. I'm not paid to say this. I've watched a lot of the content, Paul, and it is thoroughly entertaining. I like the piece you did with the clothing, for example, through the ages, doing your best Ian Poulter impression as well. You had a hoodie on at the end as well. Where do you stand on the hoodie debate?
Well, it was, and this has been really interesting. That came out in our second episode, and you know, I want the golf show. I was going to have this strapline where no topic is out of bounds, and I keep using that now and again. But golf has existed for however long it's existed, for 150 years. And yet new stuff is coming up to talk about. In our first episode, we talked about the new world handicapping system, which is how all the handicaps are calculated in the UK, and that's changing. So it's great to do something that was current and not just regurgitate it. And then the week after that, Tyrrell Hatton won down at Wentworth wearing a hoodie all week. And some of the stuff on social media was getting 600 comments, and it was unbelievable.
Yeah.
So I went online to try and buy that hoodie. It had nearly sold out, and this was on the Sunday when Tyrrell won. Managed to eventually get one. Got it on, filmed the piece, and I like it. I think it looks smart. I think golf is if you look at the golf swing, you know, even Nick Faldo in the early 80s, it was very legsy, very sort of that kind of thing. Whereas you look at someone like a Brooks Koepka now, it's very athletic. So the swing's moved on. I think the clothing needs to move on, you know, and I probably wore all those 4 outfits out on the course at some point, even the tweed when we've had a hickory shaft day or something like that. And I love it all, but I think it does need to move on. Whilst I play in York, I also play up in St Andrews. I'm lucky to be a member of the St Andrews Golf Club. Very welcoming, and you think St Andrews is the home of golf, might be a little bit stuffy. Not at all. You know, the junior section up there, the kids are wearing hoodies, they're wearing jogger bottoms. We just want to get them out on the course and get them enjoying golf, get them into this fantastic game that we all love and enjoy so much. And we've just got to make it accessible. Golf has got to lose that stuffy image. You know, you drive past most golf clubs nowadays, and there's as many transit vans in the car park as there are Jaguars. You know, it wasn't like that 30 years ago when I took up golf. You know, there's a lot of people getting into golf now, and we've just got to make it accessible. And I know certain people, and it's difficult because, you know, you've got people who have been members for 50 years, and they probably did start playing golf, their golfing lives off wearing a tie. When I was captain of the golf club, you know, I think we only had one of the social events where people had to wear a tie. I tried to relax it, make it more informal, you know, shirt and chinos. We did more barbecues, had live music, that kind of thing, because people my age didn't want to go to a golf club on a Saturday night for a night out. So I think hoodies are good. I hope they don't cause too much offence to people, but the fact we're even talking about hoodies is a bit worrying. You know, it says something about the sport, and the sport's really got to move on.
Absolutely. Well, look, Paul, that's all we've got time for, but what a treat it's been to have you on the show. Please do go check it out. You can see the handles running along the bottom. Go check it out on Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. It's an absolute pleasure. Paul, have a great Christmas as well, won't you?
You too, mate. And I'm looking forward to seeing you in the new year. I think we are going to do some stuff with the 2020 guys, which would be great. Yeah. And if you need a wingman for any of your co-commentary, give us a shout.
I will hold you to that as well. Paul Hemlin from the Golf Show, what an absolute treat. And for one last time, and for those of you who have only just joined us, let's enjoy that video one last time, shall we? Thank you very much, Paul.
I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it with a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did that view of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely. And to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. You know, you can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a divot on me then.
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you finished. Sorry. Hi, I'm Paul, and this is The Golf Show. goes. I can try it like that. That's even worse. I can try it as a snood, or I can try it like that.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, I think 30 to 40 seconds might be a bit optimistic for me right now, but I feel a bit like Jeremy Clarkson when he did direct view of that Vauxhall Vectra that time. No, seriously, what am I meant to say?
Absolutely, and to illustrate the weight of the golf bag, as Phil said there, 10 to 12 kilograms, which is the equivalent of not 2, not 4, but 6 2-litre bottles of Coke. But as you can see there, got a little hole in that one already after just 4 rounds.
Oh, it's looking good. We've got a big club twirl.
Come on.
Here we go.
Oh!
4'10" when the pressure matters.
Yeah, look at my sock. Oh. You know, I can probably wring water out of it. Oh, it's a beauty.
I'll take that one. I know I had a... Leave it on me then.
I was going to need a new camera. That was mega. Sorry, I thought you finished. Sorry.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Virtual Golf Show 2020. And I can't believe we've actually nearly the end of the very first day, and a familiar face has joined me again. Aaron, thanks for joining us a bit earlier today to talk about the Blackwell Grange Junior Academy. You've been a busy boy today, haven't you? And I know tomorrow you've got a full day of bookings, haven't you?
Yes, mate. Yeah, it has been a busy day today, but nothing like a busy day to make the day go quicker. And yes, tomorrow is a full day in the shop and working, and but every day is a good day, mate, when you're at the golf course.
100%. Now, what I wanted to talk about now, Aaron has been a big part of us this year at ContentLIVE Golf. A lot of people might not be familiar actually with what we do. We are live stream broadcasters, and this year has been our very, very first year. We've had the pleasure of Aaron's company with the 2020 Pro Tour and Clutch Pro Tour and Faldo Series as well. So for those of you who are perhaps a little bit unsure who we are and what we do, I've got a little video to show everybody of our year. Enjoy. There we go. Nice little video. Just a few memories there from the year, Aaron, isn't it? As I said, 2020 Pro Tour, Clutch Pro Tour, and Faldo Series. We've covered live in 2020, and what a year it's been. Aaron, I first got in contact with you back, I think it was in March, it might even be February actually, for Crossland Heath 2020 Pro Tour,
Correct.
wasn't it? And I'll never forget the first time I heard your dulcet Aussie tones. And they've been ringing in my head for the whole year. It's never stopped. We spoke before about the Junior Academy. You're a busy man up at Blackwell Grange, but you've also been playing on the 2020 Pro Tour and Clutch Pro Tour, and you've also been working with us. How do you fit it all in, mate?
Oh, look, I mean, this year's been, I mean, obviously we go back to, you know, as you were saying, when I met you in March, you know, I was power walking down that 18th fairway down the hill, and I saw you guys come across, and then obviously I made that. I don't know if you remember, Ian, but I made that call when I hit the putt. That was middle, it was middle stump. It was good bounce. Shane Warne would have loved that bounce on the green when the ball went across the green across underneath. But the best thing about, I think, what ContentLIVE Golf has done, especially for mini tour golf, but also what's done for amateur golfers that are watching this, is to see some grassroots professional golf. And obviously with yourself and myself coming in on a few of the events, just to give feedback and give information to the real-time player about what we do as golfers, and us professionals are thinking, what we're playing, and how we think and how we're mentally through the game. I mean, you've pulled players across when we're walking down fairways and through 9 holes, and it's in your face. But for us pros, we have to get used to that kind of media attention. So I think it's been a great thing to expose, to give exposure to some of the players that are playing these mini tour events, Clutch Pro and your 2020s. And then also, I think for me, obviously working with you at the Faldo Series at Royal Ashdown, and watching the kids, I mean, I call them kids because they are kids, play golf and how far they hit the ball, the techniques, the mental game, that you can see that there's no change in facial expressions. Some kids do, but then the older kids they're very just there in the moment. They're like a Retief Goosen, they're like a poker face. And I think that's been the best part about it. And obviously for myself, it's been great getting to know you and working with you guys with ContentLIVE, but giving information to the average member of a golf club, but breaking it down, simplifying and making the information concise, and giving them an inside the ropes experience of what the players are going through mentally.
Yeah, absolutely, and it really has. As I said often, I'm not a professional golfer. I'm your average handicapper. I'm passionate about golf, but I'm not you, Aaron. You are a pro player. You can, where you want to hit the ball is normally where you hit it. Where I want to hit the ball, I never get there. So, you know, I'm there to link it. I'm there to give the information and showcase, you know, let the viewer know what you're watching. So whenever you tune in to ContentLIVE Golf, you know what you're watching. And then, Aaron, you come in, or we've had Charlotte Ostwick, we've had Rick Shields with us, James Robinson this year, Thomas Devine. We've had some incredible guests on the show, co-commentating, to give that more in-depth feel. And that's what we're expanding on in 2021 with a number of tours that we're working with. I can't reveal, I wanted to get to the show to be able to reveal a number of things, but we've got quite a bit in the pipeline for next year, which is pretty exciting. But things have grown massively, and our numbers have grown massively. The first one we did at Crossland Heath, Aaron, you may remember, I think we had about 22,000 people tune in, which is pretty good, by the way.
Yep.
But it's grown massively. We went to Wales and we did the Faldo series, did the Wales Championship.
Yes,
These are the numbers that we started to hit in one day for broadcasting. We did 6 videos, 102,000 people tuned in. Total reach of 307,000, total engagement of 21,898, time spent live 7 hours 11 minutes. You know, that was great. We hit 6 figures, fantastic. Since then, it's grown even bigger. Do you remember Low Lace? You were there at Low Lace 2020 Pro Tour.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I was with that young lady from America at college.
Yes.
Haley Moore.
Don't ask me to say no. You put me on the spot there. Yes, I think so.
Yeah, look, that was. I mean, if you even go back before that, Ian, when we were at Worsley Park, when we did have that great special guest of Rick Shields, and I think it was. Now you got to look at it from this point, and obviously everyone that's obviously watching this for the first time and understanding exactly what Ian was saying, what Content Live Golf does. You've got to look at even Rick Shields mentioned and commented that he couldn't stop watching. And that was obviously, those broadcasts in the days before that Worsley Park event at the Marriott, that was what the reason why he reached out. And then obviously, you know, you were able to say, hey, look, do you want to come out? We're going to your golf course. Do you want to come out and co-present with us? And he actually jumped on board. For him to come across as a very, very big YouTube influencer, to come out and do that as well, it shows you the broad that Content Live is getting, but also what it does for people. And you can sit and watch it at work while you're working, and for everyone, it's working day lives. I mean, watching a bit of golf through the day that people can relate to. It's the golfers that can relate. When we hit a bad shot, I'll tell you now, the whole season that the Content Live have been there of all the events, there will be players and golfers watching the broadcast saying, you know what, I can relate to that. I've done that. And we do it just like they do. So that's why I think it's been a great addition to bridging the gap between grassroots members golf and amateur golf to that next level of professional and even the elite amateur game, which then leads into pathways of Euro Pro, Challenge Tour, and then up to the European and obviously to the US.
Exactly. One thing that we're able to do with our coverage is be a bit more interactive. I must just say a big thank you actually to Chris Hansen, because it was actually Chris who arranged Rick Shields. Rick didn't come to me, unfortunately. We weren't at that level then. I must give Chris Hansen a big shout out, because it was Chris who knows Rick, and he dropped him a message, said, would you come support the tour? And Rick very kindly did come down and was fantastic, by the way. He was absolutely superb, as we had no doubt he would be. And the same, I must give a big thank you to James Robinson as well, also another YouTube influencer. He was on board with us up at Huddersfield. He was fantastic as well. So big thank you to everybody who's, and Charlotte Ostwick, she's co-commentated.
Oh, yes, absolutely, Charlotte.
Big thank you to everybody who's gone on board with us at Content Live this year. As you're saying, Aaron, what we're able to do is we're very adaptable, we're very mobile. And the whole idea is we're actually based in motorsport. That's where we cut our teeth. And it was all about giving the viewer better coverage behind the scenes. You know, what really goes on at a racetrack. Cars going around a racetrack is something, but what really happens on in the paddock and in the garages. And as a golfer myself, I wanted to bring that into golf, because the coverage you watch on telly is brilliant. You know, Sky Sport, absolutely fantastic. But you only get a player before and after the round. You don't get the mid-round. So we get them, as you know, we get them right in the heart of it. And a few people are a bit like, I don't know if that would work. I don't know how people would respond. We grab them as they come off the 7th green and talk to them as they're about to tee, you know, and they've been so receptive. I must thank all of the players that we've spoken to this year, because nobody has said, don't talk to me. Everybody has been up for it. They've been great sport. And our coverage, we can't do it without you guys, the players, playing your part as well and accepting us and taking us with open arms, really, because that's what it's been. So a big thank you to all the players who've been involved. We couldn't do it without you, obviously, because there'd be no golf.
Well, I mean, as you said, I mean, and you're 100% correct in with all that you said. I mean, you put the mic on me for the first 2 holes at Halley Hall. And because it was, you know, I had no hesitations in doing that. I mean, it's great because it really does open up those lines of communication of what I'm thinking on the shots. And I actually, it was funny, I was going back over those videos and listening to what I was actually saying, because I was calling out all these numbers, And someone actually said to me, what were all those numbers you were just like rolling off your tongue? Like you were just 47, 38, 41, then 47. What were well, I said, well, I was calculating from the front of the green to where the pin was, and then when I wanted to try and land it. So, and they're like, oh, wow, okay. So what Content Live have solely done is bring golf and bring the grassroots professional golf, as I said this many times, to the everyday person and give them access that they would not get access to or wouldn't even know about. And obviously there's so many people that still don't know about what Content Live is. It says it in the name. It's content, it's live, and it's golf.
Yeah, exactly. And look, let's bring those numbers up for low lace. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, some of the view figure numbers. First time we ever hit the 200,000 mark. We were only live for under 5 hours. It was an incredible day up there. And then, of course, we did Clutch Pro Tour. This was our record-breaking broadcast, and it still stands today. The Clutch Pro Tour champs at Berkhamsted. 7 videos, 207,000. That was quite remarkable as well, because it took place a day later than it should have done because the course was waterlogged the day before. Now, Aaron, next year, it's a big year. It's a big year for you. It's a massive year for us as well. You're going to be a part of it, aren't we? We're going to see you in front of the camera. I really, really hope so.
Try and stop me.
Try and stop you. Well, what I want to do, I've got a little video to show just of our year with the 2020 Pro Tour, which you feature quite prominently in. Now, after we met, it brings back a few memories, doesn't it, Aaron? And by the way, if anybody's watching and can name any of the courses that you see, please do comment below. We do look at the comments. We will look at them. We'll respond to them as and when we can. But please, when we're playing these videos, if you recognize any of the courses, do comment below. Let us know, because we want to know if people, how good is your golf knowledge? Can you recognize the courses? Now, a lot of memories there for 2020 Pro Tour, which is fantastic. You've been a big part of that. You joined us with Clutch Pro Tour as well. After 2020, we then got involved with Clutch Pro Tour, which was a treat. And I've got a little highlight video of our year with Clutch to play as well. So great memories there for us as well, a Clutch. And then from Clutch, we got involved with the Faldo series, didn't we? This was wonderful for us, and I'm pleased to say actually we've been joined by Matthew Faldo tomorrow morning just after 10. So make sure you tune in for that. We will be with Matthew Faldo from the Faldo series, and we only did 2 events with Faldo, largely due to COVID. We were due to do the tour final. Unfortunately, it got cancelled this year for obvious reasons, but we still got a nice little video to play. A few highlights from our year with the Faldo series. Can I just clarify there? We did not eat 76 bacon sandwiches in 2 tournaments.
I was going to say, Ian, between Clutch Pro 2020 and the Faldo series, I'm a bit worried there's about over nearly 300 bacon sandwiches that you've eaten. I'd love to know how your thighs are going right now, Ian.
Well, I'm in the loft here because I can't get out the door. But look, wonderful year for us. It's been a year of growth. I'm not sure whether the concept was going to work, to be honest. And I must give a big shout out to Chris Hansen, Adam Walker at 2020 Pro Tour, because they essentially gave us a shot back in March. They didn't know how it was going to work. We didn't really know how it was going to work. It worked in motorsport. Can you adapt into golf? And it has, and it's been such a journey. And Aaron, a big thank you, because you've been a huge part of that journey with us, and you will be as well going forward. So it's been nothing but a pleasure. If anybody wants to get in touch with us at Content Live Golf, please do head over to contentlive.net, or just check us out on our social media. We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we're on Twitter. Drop us a DM there, and we'll be happy to talk to you about live streaming, video production, video editing, whatever it is. It's been a pleasure. Aaron, I can't believe it. We're actually coming to the end of our Thursday session. It's completely done. It's almost absolutely over for the day. What
a day. Busy day for both of us, mate.
It has been, hasn't it? Now, I know, unfortunately, you won't be with us tomorrow because you're teaching all day, aren't you? So best of luck with that. Keep going with it. Do check out Aaron on social media as well, Blackwell Grange Junior Golf Academy. And also, you have your own PGA Pro page, don't you? Aaron Cox PGA Pro.
That's correct, yes.
Do go check that out. That's it for today, for the first ever day, the inaugural Virtual Golf Show 2020. Who knows? Maybe we'll be back next year. That's the plan. What I do know is we will be back tomorrow from 10 a.m. We'll be joined by the Faldo series. I'm going to bring up the agenda. Look, here you go. Here's what we got coming up for you tomorrow. We've got Matthew Faldo from the Faldo series. We've got Harriet Shepherd from Women in Golf magazine, Emily Slater, pro golfer. She'll be joining us. We've got Richard coming on the show from Golf Hubber, Tom Hayward from Clutch Pro Tour, Mark Hatton from Golfing Days. We've got OJ Farrell. What a season he had, by the way, with the Clutch Pro Tour, a Mizuno staffer. And then, of course, I will be back on to round out the show. So join us tomorrow from 10 o'clock. It's been an absolute pleasure. Aaron, once again, thank you very much. And
no problem.
cheers, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow for the Virtual Golf Show, Day 2.